Hello, it's Sunday, October 19th, 2025, and look what we're doing. I am replacing the mini split air conditioner, the forward mini split air conditioner. This is the 12,000 BTU unit. Got a refrigerant leak. It's been fine for all these years. This is the original one that we put in. So I guess we got our money's worth. Considering they're in a perpetual earthquake. I can't see any leaks anywhere, but the one in the rear, it had a leaky evaporator, and I'll show you in a few minutes how that occurs, I believe. So there was like almost no gas in this thing. I just cracked the lines. There's no pressure, and I've already taken the electric loose, and I took out my gray water drain line, which everything is really easy to work on the way I did it with those little hose clamp type fittings there. Just loosen that up, and I loosen that up, and there's the pipe. This is going to be interesting because I got this one figured out real easy. I removed this, and it won't fall because it's supported by this stiffener brace I put up here, like that one has right there. So that's like my little secret there to make these things very rigid and not rely on just this chintzy little bracket here for all the vibration that they're under. But and then this front panel is removable here, and I would put the floor jack underneath here and then slide out to get around this and lower down, and it would just roll right out. It was actually super easy. This one's going to be a challenge because my line set is here, and I don't have that luxury of doing as I just described, because this is in the way, and this runs up and over, so I have to figure this out. I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but for now I'm going to take this loose. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Oh god, I got to figure this out. Okay, we're on the home stretch. We're fully disconnected here. Oh, I said that too soon. I got to unscrew the line set. They're loose, but I left them connected just to keep the dirt and moisture out. I'm gonna find some plugs to plug those. This channel can be removed now. This unit, which is running right now, will support its own self without this because of that brace up at the top. It's just sitting on there, and it's kind of snug. I'll be able to lift this up and move it over, and then drop this down to get out from underneath these, I suspect. And then we'll lower the jack, and I think what I'm gonna do is tip this thing over off the jack, real careful, like, even though this is trash, for practice on how to put the new one in. And I've got another little 4-wheel dolly that I could lay it on flatways. One of those little furniture mover dollies. I think I can pull that off by myself. Otherwise, we'll get the missus out here. Give me a hand. All right. It's pretty cool how this thing holds itself up there. We are entirely on the jack right now, and all I got to do is lower it without dropping it. I wish I could video that. Yeah, let's see if we can do this. once this jack gets all the way to the bottom, it kind of tilts the pad a little bit. We'll see. Nope. Perfect. Oh yeah, it just didn't now. The compressors on this side, I tried to compensate for it. I was just guessing. Alright, so now we got to tip it. I'm not really sure how to do this. Maybe with my feet. See, if that line set wasn't here, we could have just rolled it right out by, having removed that one instead. We're trying to do it this way. That's not so bad. If I had the wipe to help, I could emulate that. Now we can tip this over and lay it on that other dolly that I have that I forgot to bring out. I can use my creeper. That'll work. Yeah, this side's got no weight to it at all. Try that differently. Okay. Lovely. Piece of cake. Out with the old and in with the new. So, we're a little bit longer. Gosh, it's gonna be tight, man. And the little footy holes almost line up. So I think the only way that we can get this right is to go ahead and like stick it up in there. Unfortunately, that's going to be a pain. The good news is the height are the same, because I am very limited on height, and there's not really much we can do about that. But the width, I think we're going to be okay. Houston, we have a problem. Oh man, this changes a lot. Quarter-inch and half-inch. The bus has got 1/4 inch and 3/8, so I got to put a new line set in the bus, which means I'm gonna have to tear out a whole bunch of the interior to do it, and it is not going to be fun. You know, if I knew I was going to be changing out the line set, I would have done this completely different. So now we need to go put the cross member back in on the other side, and probably take this one out so we can put the air conditioner in front ways, because this is going to have to come out anyway. Well, let me just start by pulling out the line set, because that's a big deal. So we got to remove that, and all of this so we can get to the line set back there. I think I figured out what I want to do here. At least that's going to be my approach. So I took the 2 panels off to make this easier, and it'll be a lot easier with those off. I am going to leave the 1/4 inch line that I have in there and only install a 1/2 inch line. I'm gonna have to buy 1/2 inch tubing, because what came with the kit is too short to make it anyway. We're waiting for a new line set to come in that's 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. The existing line set was 1/4 and 3/8, and I was looking at just replacing the large tube, and it was almost the same price to buy 1/2 inch tubing at Home Depot or Lowe's as it was to buy a line set from Amazon, and it comes with the insulation and both lines. So that's kind of hard to say no to. Let me show you what we did here today. Removed this and ground down some of the rust that was on it, prime and paint. Put a Losfo on it in between all that. I made my own rubber little gaskets here. I kind of goofed and made them too small, dang it, but they're doing what they need to do. I should have made them this big. I just goofed. The original ones right there that come with this, they're too squishy. I didn't care for it. Since this is going to be a mobile application, I wanted to make sure that we get these kind of snug. And so this is a car tire sidewall. It's kind of funny, just the other day the wife and I were cruising around the neighborhood, and we noticed that there was a tire dumped on the side of the road. That was the same kind of serendipity that I had with this one. When I needed a piece of tire, I remembered seeing one on the side of the road out here. So yeah, I cut these little donuts, and I cut these, and there's also a little rubber gasket here on the bottom. So this is all done. I had to slot some holes in this and re-drill holes, because these feet were not the same width and length. It was actually quite a bit of work to do. So after I had got that one out and took care of that, then we took out this one, and I needed to slot these holes because when I put this air conditioner in a year or so ago, these screws were not in the right spot, and I didn't have the means to slot holes. So you know, no better time than the present. So I slotted these, and in the process of taking these out, I got to take out those quarter 20s, a couple of them right there. I got 2 more to put in front of the other beam over there. Gosh. Put the sink drain pipe back in. I put this stiffener on, and to do that, you got to come out here to the front. You got to remove the grate, you got to remove the fan, and then you got to extrapolate where the hole needs to be in the bracket, because the bracket is already existing. And I got it right on the button. It's pretty amazing that you can actually even do that. So this is now really solid here, and we're just waiting for the line set. It'll come tomorrow, and I just hope I can deal with that 1/2 inch easily enough to squeeze it in. I discussed with the missus if she remembered how we did this last time, and she reminded me that I built a platform. So that's what I did. I built another platform. I took the seats out of here. This one just unsnaps. This one I had to unbolt, which is not that big of a deal. It was pretty easy. So this is not gonna be too bad. It's just gonna be making the bend here with the 1/2 inch tubing. Hello, it's Friday, October 24th, 2025. Amazon delivered. There's my line set, and it doesn't appear to be kinked or anything. 25 feet. I need 24 feet, so I've got a foot to play with. And here's the bending springs. There's a set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And all right, I paid a little extra and got the longer ones. I don't know. I think that was a good idea. So you just slip this over the copper tubing, and you can make a bend without kinking it. I don't know that I need them, but I have them in case I do. They were not that much money, and I've always wanted to have a good set of those. So now I'm trying to figure out what I need to do with this, and I guess I'll just unroll the whole thing for starters. Copper tubing work hardens. It could be like really soft and flexible, and every time you bend it, it gets harder and harder to bend. So I want to avoid bending it. So what I've done, come over here, and it looks like the larger one is on the top here. This is the bottom, and that's the top that way. And then the smaller pipe is toward the bottom. So I'm starting out thinking that I want to maintain that orientation. It's not completely critical, because I could always just bend them to go however I want. That was my head. And there's 3 inches difference. The 1/4 inch line on the line set needs to be back 3 inches from the larger one. I took some measurements, and we're about 6 inches from the side of, I'm just going to call this the air handler, from the side of the air handler to here. It's about 6 1/4 actually. I just called it 6, so I got some wiggle room there. And it's 16 1/2 inches from the side of the air handler to the end of the 1/2 inch tube. So I need 22 1/2 inches from the end of the larger line on the line set to the outside of the bend, including the insulation. Gosh, this feels like it's a Rube Goldberg. I don't know if I'm losing my mind here. I really am doing this the smartest way. So I measured 19 5/8 from the end to right here. And I've got it taped so it won't move on me. Now, if I put this way and make the bend, consuming tubing from that end in the bend, I should be there. Yeah, I did it, man. I got almost a perfect 90, and we're at 22 inches, and I could massage as needed to get that where I need it to go, and there's no kinks. And I wonder if this is it. Yeah, it is a little tight on there, so I guess it would have kinked if I didn't have it. Yeah, look at that beautiful bend. Awesome. Wow, 3/8 copper is a lot easier to work with than 1/2 inch. I got to tell you that. I got it in place. More or less, it's where it's going to run. I mean, it's crooked, and there's a couple tweaks I can do here and there. I mean, like we're low over here, but I think that's actually where we want to be. I put the string here. Yeah. So, yeah, we're a little bit low there, and we're a little bit high there, and it doesn't really matter for function. It's just for how it looks and how I'm going to be able to live with it. And I've got the loop bent into it. It's the full 25 feet length. So, I mean, we could steal from this corner, steal from that corner, you know, a couple little tweaks. But now I think it's time to put the insulation back on this, and that's going to be, I think, pretty tough to do. What I didn't mention earlier, obviously you could see it now, I split these pieces of insulation apart, and I started using a razor blade, and I would just like pull it apart, and you know, it's got some wounds in it here and there, but nothing that really means anything. Then after fighting with it for a while, I got the hacksaw blade out, and that went through it way better. Over here toward the end, this is where I was using the hacksaw blade, and I mean, it was really moving right along. It was like pulling teeth in the beginning with the razor blade, and I could only go about 3 feet before the razor blade got dull. We got our line set in place, and I'm taping it back together just to kind of contain the chaos, and we've got it run in its place. We've got our electric wires strung. The water drain will come in next. I just quickly did a little blast of refrigerant to purge out any crud that might be in the lines. They were sealed, okay, when I got them. But I cut the lines and put new flares at the other end down there, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't get any of that remaining in the system. So I use, you know, my line set, this refrigerant purge tool, which has a really nice little blower device on the end, and a little squirt of refrigerant. Next thing we're going to do now, we're going to install these puppies. I've used these before, but I don't think I've used them on the bus before. Can't remember. And here's what they look like. So they're just like little brass formed pieces. I think they're brass with a coating on it that acts like a sealer. And they just snap onto the end of the male half of the fitting. And then you assemble it. That's all there is to it. Just like that. They snap right on there. Just make sure they're on there straight, and you're good to go. And you just assemble it. And then your next question is, well, how tight do you make them? They give you the Torx right on the package. And in case you didn't notice, I put a clamp on the bottom edge of this unit to hold it straight, because when you set it there, it leans over onto this radius, and I couldn't really work with it very well. All right, man, we're getting really close. I'm gonna do a little quick purge. I just cracked the line, so it's just a little squirt. And we're going to add some refrigerant into the low side line here. And it'll go up all the way to the air handler and back out here. When I open the valve over here, and then open this. And I don't hear a thing. There it goes. Just a little bit of a, alright, maybe you can hear it. Just enough to blow out any crud. Hey, we got almost 250 now PSI. And we did the bubble check and not a bubble leak anywhere. Here on the inside, I decided I want to put a little piece of insulation between those, just because I can. And I went ahead and rinsed off all the soap with clean water. So now I'm going to put this on here and figure out. I might have to cut this back some. Yeah. I think I'll cut it back to here. And then we're going to wrap this with pipe insulating tape, like the same as this stuff. I got it right there. It's foam tape. Peel the back off and you wrap it. All right, I decided I should put some electrical tape on there to squeeze it down, because it was kind of out of hand. And now we'll do the foam. That came out really well. I put the electrical tape on the ends just to keep it from unraveling. All right, man. We have purged and we have vacuumed. And now we're going to open the system up. Some notes further. There it is. That was a good sound. It's alive. Fabulous. So I started wrapping the line set with electrical tape. I did that last time and it worked out well. After about a year or so, the sun just ate that stuff up. And there's kind of like nothing really else I could do here. I mean, there's metal panels that come over this, but they have areas where light come through. And this has got a big round hole in it. So, yeah, this is great, man. Now that we got it running, we have to add some additional refrigerant. So here we are on this one. We have 15 extra feet of refrigerant line set. So 25 feet versus 10, 15 feet, 0.16 ounces per foot. I need to add 2.4 ounces of 410 refrigerant. Putting the final touches on everything here. The AC's been working great for 2 days now, and or a day, I should say, day and a half. Putting my panels back on. I put some spray foam in there to plug up some holes that I had missed when I built the bus, and I put some spray foam around the line set between everything. You know, stretch it apart, spray it between, and then, you know, so that's fully sealed up. Then I come back with a hacksaw, this kind, and trim up everything. I got to clean up, and the last steps are going to be to install our sofa back in place, and then the 2 chairs, and I think I'm done with this job.